Hey there, everybody. I just want to come on and talk about a subject that has been very vexing to me, and I've done a lot of research on. Yeah, I've experienced it in my life for sure, but I always like to look at why these dynamics show up and what can we learn from them. So, there's a lot of information out there about narcissism, and the majority of the information is basically saying that narcissists are evil and they can't change. So while that seems reasonable on the surface, I like to go beyond the surface. So I was definitely on the other end of the spectrum, the codependent empath. And yeah. So one thing I heard recently, which really resonated with me, was the fact that both the narcissist and the empath have disowned parts of themselves that the other possesses. It's like, wow, that's an interesting, informative tidbit. Yeah. So what is it about the personalities, the archetypes, or how they're showing up? What is it that the other one has denied in themselves that they seek in the other person? Well, they talked about how the narcissist has a really strong sense of perceived self, even if it is a false sense of self. They're usually very charismatic, confident. They get you to do things for them, and in order to feel safe, they create a framework or a frame for the empath or the codependent to feel safe in. So they tend to attract someone who's disowned parts of themselves, built in toxic shame. They cover it up by appearing in a certain way. I found that fascinating. Because we all have different personas or different masks that we kind of wear for our public image or our public face to the world. So the empath gets something from the narcissist. That's a sense of frame. Because as an empath, you tend to not have a lot of structure because you're kind of porous. You're open, like your aura in the beginning, especially your aura tends to be very, very open, and so you tend to take on the emotions or the energies of the people around you, and so you are very unstructured. So it's the structure that the narcissist provides in their even false sense of confidence or perceived self. And on the other hand, so the narcissist will get from the empath that connection to emotion, the connection to self, the ability to feel. I know as a recovering empath, Can you recover from being an empath? If that was such a thing, certainly I would find a way. Find a way. It has not been fun. It has not been a fun journey. It's been very, very difficult, very challenging. And when I finally figured out that I was an empath, I mean, then it was about like, okay, well, how do I change this? Or how do I not do this? How do I not take on other people's emotions and energies? I mean, like, it's been overwhelming. And then add to that the codependency factor, which I think codependency and empath go pretty closely hand in hand. And we always attract the narcissist. So what is that dynamic? And what, like, from a spiritual level of consciousness, like, why do we have this dynamic? And what can we learn from it? So how can we grow from what's presented to us? So I can speak on behalf of myself as a recovery, I want to call myself a recovering empath. Or I could say a recovering codependent. That would actually fit. I don't know if you can ever get rid of the empath thing. But I'm definitely a recovering codependent. So what I'm getting from it is that I feel like the narcissist shows up in the empath's codependent's life to teach you to have more confidence, to have more self actualization, to step into your power, to stand up for yourself, to, embody your higher self, your divinity and your confidence, and to step into self-empowerment. I feel that that's the role of the narcissist. They kick you in the ass, and then you have to pick yourself up and do something with that. So I have successfully removed myself from that dynamic. I think I've learned the lesson. And if you feel like you are struggling with that, with codependency and narcissistic abuse, I have a lot of empathy for you, because it's not fun. It's very challenging, and I am here to help you to release all of those limiting beliefs, programs, patterns that keep you in those repetitive cycles, looping and looping and looping. I can do energy healing, get intuitive downloads to assist you on your path to empowerment. Let me see if there's anything else I wanted to bring out. Oh, yes. And this is another thing that's very interesting because, in general, this is what I found in the research, is, the narcissist is the bad guy. The narcissist is the evil one. And the empath is just the sweet, innocent little thing, right? Not quite so much, like typically there's one that's more toxic than the other, I guess. I think they're both toxic in certain ways. But so the empath abandons themselves to be in the relationship. In other words, they give to get. And it's a constant game of making the narcissist happy. So in order to get your power back, you no longer have to, attract a narcissist as a reflection. So it's coming into balance with your own empowerment, your own sense of self. To me, I believe that the only way to self-actualize from a narcissistic relationship is to remove yourself. You have to be away from that situation in order to do the deep healing work. Now, I spent years in that dynamic, but little by little I was stepping more and more into my power, standing up for myself, speaking my mind, and of course those were always the times where I was kicked out. Nope, don't want to have anything to do with you anymore. Every time I up level and just get more bold, more outspoken, and it's like, oh, I don't want to have anything to do with you. You're toxic. Okay. Well, thank you for projecting. But yeah. So, anyways, yeah, it's a big subject, and it seems to be very prevalent on the planet. And I think it's time for us to heal this dynamic. It's all about self-actualization and wholeness. How can we come more into our own center, our own power, and not be seeking it outside of ourselves? And then when the person that we're seeking it from turns around and, abuses us or, dismisses us or whatever they do, then, they're the bad guy. But it's always an inside job. It's always an inside job. So it's our job to heal those aspects of ourself that we seek in the other. And then once we do that healing work, that deep inner healing work, then that dynamic no longer has to show up for us. Things only show up in an effort to reflect to us what is still needing to be healed inside. It's a lot of times in the beginning, it's really, 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 really hard to hear. It's really frustrating. I remember moments where I'd be like, oh man, I could just kick somebody. I'm just like, this is so hard to look at, to say, oh, well, this is just reflecting what's inside of me. No, this guy's bad. You want the other guy to be bad. They're the perpetrator. They're the one that's wrong. It's all a mirror. It's insane. I know. I still grapple with this today. It's just yeah. It's interesting, but on a spiritual level, we are in a very advanced school here. So we came here to learn soul lessons and growth, and you don't grow or learn in comfort. It's only in discomfort. So I'm here to shed light on the codependent narcissist dynamic so that we can transcend it and no longer need it. Wouldn't that be nice? That's my goal for the future. No longer needing narcissists or codependents, because we're all fully embodied, healed, whole embodiments of divine consciousness. All right, so that went way further than I thought it was going to go. you never know when these things come through, like yeah. And I hope I didn't sound too crazy. Yeah. Anyways, I hope that's helpful to anyone. Feel free to reach out, make a comment. Happy to have a chat with you if you'd like to look into what I offer. I have packages on my Facebook page at Kathy Jackson Self-Empowerment Coach. So I look forward to speaking with you. Have a wonderful day, and I will talk with you later. Bye.